What is going on, guys, and thanks for tuning in with your host, as always, K-Mac Time. Now, what could possibly be better than Bugs Bunny and Michael Jordan together? Absolutely nothing. This movie came out in the late 90s and absolutely blew everyone's mind, blew them out of the water. This movie is absolutely great. Of course, I'm talking about the great Space Jam. So let's go ahead and jump right into 18 things you never knew about Space Jam. Starting off our list, Space Jam is the highest grossing basketball movie of all time. In fact, it is the 12th highest grossing sports movie of all time. The movie made over $230 million in 1996 alone. Our next fact is that to keep Michael Jordan happy throughout filming, Warner Bros. Actually built him his very own basketball court on the set of Space Jam. Jordan would go there and shoot hoops between takes. The idea for Space Jam actually came from a popular 1993 Nike ad. The commercial showed Michael Jordan playing basketball against Marvin the Martian and his turkey-like henchmen. The popular R. Kelly song I Believe I Can Fly was written for the Space Jam soundtrack and became one of the biggest successes about the movie. After its release, it reached number 2 on the Billboard charts, won 3 Grammys, and remains the singer's biggest hit to date. Although they are never mentioned by name in the film, the villainous monsters do actually have their own names. Bang is the green one, Blanco is blue, Bupkis is purple, Pound is orange, and Naught is red. Now, you probably didn't realize this when you were younger, but now you do. It should be pretty obvious to recognize the voice behind the alien Schwackhammer, the bad guy in the movie. Actually, this voice is done by none other than Danny DeVito. Early in the movie, when the Toons are trying to pick out a uniform, Daffy mentions that he is partial to purple and gold. While this is an obvious reference to the Lakers, it's also the color of Michael Jordan's college fraternity, Omega Psi Phi. Space Jam was the first animated movie ever to be edited for content for TV airings. When the cartoon airs on Cartoon Network, Daffy saying, quote, "We are getting screwed," is replaced by other children-friendly lines. While it's pretty obvious that Space Jam includes a ton of very famous basketball players in its cast, it doesn't actually have that many famous actors, outside of Bill Murray, of course. However, in the scene where the tiny monsters go into a basketball game to steal talent, they are seated next to Patricia Heaton, who is famous from Everyone Loves Raymond, and Dan Castellaneta, famous for the voice of Homer from The Simpsons. In the scene where we see Moron Mountain from the outer edge of space, there's a black rectangle visible on the right edge of the screen. This is meant to be the monolith from the 1968 film 2001: A Space Odyssey. Space Jam marked the only acting credit for the legendary basketball player Larry Bird. Bird is the only man to go from the first valuable player to coach of the year and then executive of the year. Space Jam was also the debut of Lola Bunny, Bug's female counterpart and love interest. After the film, Lola appears in several Looney Tunes products, even being voiced by Kristen Wiig in the Looney Tunes show. After Charles Barkley loses his talent in the film, he prays that this talent will come back. In this scene, he promises that he won't go out with Madonna again if he is to get his talent back. Although Space Jam is considered a classic by most people, it did not initially receive the best reviews when it came out. While almost every film critic tore the movie apart, one of the most famous actually gave it a 3.5 out of 4. Roger Ebert called the movie a happy marriage of good ideas. Also, the original website that was created to promote the film back in the mid-1990s is still up and active. And yes, it is still the way it was back in the 90s. This thing is hilarious. You guys can check it out. I'll leave a link on the screen right now at warnerbros.com/spacejam/movie. You guys can check that out. It's actually really cool. It's like straight out of 1990s internet. It's really cool, but it's still active and people still follow it today. This movie is known for having product placement rampant in the movie. There's a scene where Jordan's publicist Stanley comes into his hotel room and says the following lines, and I quote, "Come on, Michael, it's game time. Slip on your Hanes, lace up your Nikes, take your Wheaties and your Gatorade, and we'll grab a Big Mac on the way to the ballpark." All of these were sponsors for Michael Jordan during that time period. The creators of the movie even take a stab at Disney. In the scene where Daffy suggests that they call themselves the Ducks, Bugs replies with, quote, "What kind of Mickey Mouse organization names their team the Ducks?" This is poking fun at the popular Disney movie that came out a few years earlier, The Mighty Ducks. And finally, many people found Bill Murray's role as a version of himself who longs to be a basketball player very funny, but also very random. Come to find out, this is actually based on a series of bizarre commercials that Murray shot in the early 90s in which he tries and fails to become a popular basketball player. Well, that's all we have time for this episode, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by and watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you guys could hit that like button and subscribe. If you are new around here, we get more videos like this in your sub box weekly. Also, make sure you guys drop the code word in the comment section. Let me know you guys made it all the way through the end of this video. The code word is going to be Space Jam, like the movie. And drop that in the comment section. And I know you guys made it all the way to the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching again. And I will speak to you guys soon. Peace out.